What is up, Youtubeletts? It is PuddlesA1 here, and I am bringing you another narrated Wi-Fi battle. Now, today, guys, got an Ubers match against Shadow_Phoenix, and he is an awesome guy that I met on the Smokin' server. He was one of 3 Ubers battles that I had that night, and the only one that I could upload, so everybody thank him for this Friday upload. Now, looking at his team, he's got a bunch of threats and weather, so the weather war is going to happen, and I need my weather to win because his weather really isn't beneficial to his team, whereas mine is. So, without it, there will be a major hindrance to my entire team, and that's about it. So here we go, guys. He's going to lead off with the Genesect. I'm going to lead off with the Fortress. Now, I saw that he had the Deoxys, so I was thinking that he's going to lead off with that. But, of course, I'm always wrong with that in Ubers. I've never seen a Deoxys lead ever since I started playing Ubers like this. And, I don't know, it's kind of upsetting because I always think that that's going to be the case, but it never is. So, anyway, he's going to go for the Rock Polish here, and he's going to automatically be at +2. And for those of you that missed the download boost, like I did in-game, he did get the special attack boost. I should have known that just because of the investment that I do have on this Fortress. I believe I'm especially defensive. So he's going to go for the Thunderbolt here, telling me that he doesn't have the Flamethrower, which makes sense because he's on a rain team. And it's kind of unfortunate because he did get the special attack boost. So he's at +2 speed, +1 special attack. And that Thunderbolt did heaps. So I don't want to take another one, but I have to really, in a sense, just because I don't want to go into anything else and have that take damage from ice beams or probably anything else. So I go for 2 layers of toxic spikes and then a layer of spikes, as on this next turn he's just going to take me out. I'm going to fodder off my Fortress. I could have at any point gone into my Groudon just to be immune to it and then done some double switching around and then avoided this whole thing, but I thought it would be quicker this way, and this way I get some hazards up at the same time, you know, whatever. So I go into my Reshiram here thinking that I can threaten this thing out with the Blue Flare or the Fusion Flare. He doesn't know what I have, but he stays in only because I forgot that he had or I didn't pay attention to the download boost, and it makes sense that he would stay in. Had I paid attention to that, I probably would have played this differently, because I go for the Tailwind predicting his switch out, but he does not do that at all, because that Ice Beam brought me down to about half, and it's a good thing that I had leftovers, because this could have possibly taken me out if he got max on both damages, but that's not the case. I get to take him out with the Blue Flare on this turn, and had I just gone for the Blue Flare last turn, I would have been at half HP. This Tailwind wouldn't have mattered at all, and this game probably would have turned out a lot different, but anyway, that's not what happened, and the Genesect died. So now I'm kind of thinking that he's going to have to go into his Rayquaza to go for the extreme speed if he carries it, and he does bring in the Rayquaza, telling me he does have it, so I want to make sure he goes for it, so I leave in my Reshiram here as Death Fodder, just because if he had the setup move, I didn't want him to go for the Dragon Dance or the Swords Dance, and this way I can tell what item he has. So I don't see Life Orb Recoil telling me that he's banded, and I can go into my Kyurem here, threaten him out with the Draco Meteor or the Ice Beam, because both of those are stab, and both of those are super effective on this guy. So I'm just going to go for the Ice Beam, because -2 right now really isn't that favorable. So he brings in the Deoxys here. I'm guessing that it was Scarfed, and they're not Scarfed, that it was Focus Sashed, and that it probably had the lead, like Stealth Rocky stuff, or possibly even the dual screens. I don't really know, because I take it out with the Ice Beam on this turn, and that's the end of this Deoxys. Now, I'm pretty sure that the score is 4-4 at this point, or 3-3, I'm not sure. But whatever, he brings in his Palkia here. I cannot take a Draco Meteor. I know this for a fact. I do have Life Orb Recoil already on me, but I know who can take a Draco Meteor, and that's going to be my Ho-Oh, because I do have the special defense investment, I do have the HP investment, and I've taken some before, so I was hoping he's going for that, but he goes for Spatial Rend. In my opinion, I approve of Spatial Rend over Draco Meteor, just because there's no -2. You don't have to worry about it, but that did way too much because he got a crit. Luckily for me, it was a crit. I thought maybe that he was Specs, and that was just Specs damage, like Specs Modest maybe, I don't know, but luckily it was a crit. So I know he's going to switch out here. I could have gone for the Substitute, but I want to be a little more defensive right now, and I want to go for the Recover, just to bring me back up to full HP after leftovers on this next turn. So that's what happens. Go for the Recover as he brings in this Rayquaza. Now I know for a fact, because the battle before this, I could take a Banded Outrage from a Rayquaza, so I'm going to stay in here thinking he's going to go for that and going for the Sacred Flare, but he actually goes for the Earthquake. I don't know what he was predicting, and I actually do get the burn on the Sacred Flare, which is great, because the battle before this, I used Sacred Flare 5 times. Sacred Flare? I keep saying that. I used Sacred Fire 5 times before I actually got the burn, so please forgive my mistake saying Sacred Flare. I don't know why I say that. It's Sacred Fire, so sorry. Anyway, he brings in his Kyogre here. He has the Lumberry, and it's not really that important, but hey, he's got the Lumberry, telling me that he's probably the Calm Mind 3 attack set. So I go for the Substitute here on the switch out, knowing that he's not going to stay in with the burnt, locked into Earthquake on a Ho-Oh Rayquaza. So he goes for the Thunder here, telling me that he's pretty much an offensive set, not being like the rest Sleep Talk maybe. I don't know what kind of set that is, but whatever. He's going to go for the Thunder as I go for the Brave Bird. And the Brave Bird actually does more than I thought. I thought it would just barely take it past half, but it actually does a sizable chunk. Easy 2-hit KO, but I do not want to take another Thunder, so I'm going to switch out and go to my Groudon. This was really, it was actually too obvious, to be honest. So he's going to go for the Hydro Pump. He probably could have gone for the Ice Beam, but the Hydro Pump was the better option here because that's going to hurt my Groudon a lot. Even in the sun with my HP investment, I barely take that with the HP that I do. Like, that's just too much damage. Kyogre is a monster. So I go for the Stealth Rock here. You guys see that I outspeed. I should have gone for an attack. I should have gone for the Earthquake or the Fire Blast, whatever. I couldn't have gone for Dragon Tail, but I do outspeed, and that's the thing. Now, my Groudon and my Ho-Oh both have the same speed, meaning that this Kyogre probably has 216 speed as well. So I go into my Ho-Oh thinking I can win the speed tie now, but that's not the case. I'm going to go for the Brave Bird as he switches out into his Rayquaza because it is pointless. I don't know why I set up Stealth Rocks because the only thing that really hurt the Rayquaza was Stealth Rocks, or the only thing that Stealth Rocks hurt was Rayquaza, so it was really a bad play on my part. I should have attacked it because, as you will see, this Kyogre is going to come in on the next turn and live all the entry hazard damage, which is really, really aggravating because now he wins the Weather War and he's going to hit me hard with some moves. So it goes back to the first couple turns when I set up Toxic Spikes instead of Spikes. I probably should have just set up Spikes, but I don't know why. And then it goes also back to the Groudon move. I don't know why I did that. But he also wins the speed tie here, hits me with a Hydro Pump, does not miss either, and he's going to take me out, which is really unfortunate. Ho-Oh goes down, and Poison's not even going to take him out. So I don't know what the heck is going on here, but I know I can go into my Kyurem White because all I have is my Kyurem White and my Terrakion left, and all he has is the Palkia, Kyogre, and the Arceus, whose form I do not know yet. So that's going to be a big problem on the coming turns, as you will see. I'm going to go for the Ice Beam because -2, again, is really unfavorable, and it's going to be able to KO the Kyogre anyway. So I have 2 Life Orb recoil hits on me, and he's going to go into his Palkia here. Now, I did calc the damage, and the only way I can live a Spatial Rend is if I'm at full HP, because minimum damage, I think it does like 93%. So I'm going to die here. I'm going to stay in just on the off chance he misses. I really don't know if Spatial Rend misses. I have never checked it out, but hey, you never know. So he's actually going to destroy me with the Spatial Rend, gets a crit. Crit does not matter, so that's obviously an overkill, and poison damage is going to bring him to about half HP, and I'm going to come in with my Terrakion. Now, the thing is, I'm not sure if I should go for Close Combat or the Stone Edge, because I don't know what this Arceus is, but I risk it, go for the Close Combat, hoping that he does not have the Ghost Arceus or any other kind of Arceus form that can resist, or, well, nothing else is immune to it, but I'm hoping to God that he's the Extreme Killer Arceus, because then I can for sure take him out. And that'll basically be GG at this point. And he comes in, and it is the Extreme Killer Arceus, which tells me that I have won the game, luckily, because I know I can take an Extreme Speed, even if I am at -1, because I will live with about half HP from an Adamant 252 attack Arceus. But of course, the Hacks gods are like, no, we got this one. And they gave him a crit on the last turn, the last move possible. They gave him a crit, and he wins the game. So that's great game, Shadow_Phoenix. I don't know if he has a YouTube channel, but if he does, feel free to click from the Genesect all the way to the Deoxys. It'll take you directly to his channel. And if he doesn't, then feel free to click the Groudon, because that will take you to my last video. Click the Fortress to see my next one when I upload it next Friday. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Tumblr, add me on Skype. PuddlesA1 is the name throughout all that. And I want to thank you guys for 200 subs, so watch out for that 200 sub special. Thank you guys for watching. Peace, love, and later, Gators.